Hello, 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 everyone. It's Father Aaron, the Dungeon Minister. And I am here to do something that I had meant to do on the 2nd of April, which is some painting. I had, if you recall, I had rattle canned these. And when I say rattle can, I just mean some Rust-Oleum. and thought that it would be dry in time, but they were not. They were sticky, still sticky. So I could not paint them back then. And then, of course, Lent and Holy Week and Easter. So I am now getting to them. Hello, Jay Tyler. Greetings, grumpy old Slan. How are you tonight? So it's a little bit of a delay in getting these done. But here we are. And I am hello, RPG Dad, and hello, John Stewart Keller. John Stewart Keller, your name always to me sounds like you. It's like a serious name. This is not a, hello Jay Stewart. It's the name of a news reporter and something of that sort. Yes, it's John Stewart Keller here with ABC News. Whereas I had Aaron, which every third kid in the 70s had. Every third boy in the 70s was named Aaron, and the girls, really. Right, so we are painting these figures. First of all, I want to acknowledge that these figures, I don't think this camera is going to do that. It's not this is the cheapo webcam, right? But anyway, they're pretty good. They are, I would say, slightly out of scale because these are from Song of Ice and Fire. Greetings, Martiki. Hello, Wheeling Dragon. So here would be, but I actually don't think they're that far out. Here's the soldier, here's the, I actually don't think that's that far out. They tell me the scale is more like 32 as opposed to 28. Maybe they're just tall guys, Maybe they're just tall. But at any rate, I want to acknowledge these guys were purchased. I bought them at the friendly local game shop, the Hooded Goblin. I almost said the Hooded Dragon because I looked down at Wheeling Dragon. I almost said Hooded Dragon, which would be a big hood. The Hooded Goblin. But I bought them with money that was very generously provided to me by my patrons. So, check out Patreon. I'm really bad at plugging that stuff. I'm trying to be better. But at any rate, so these are very cool. The Song of Ice and Fire minis are, they're actually very, very awesome. Thank you, John Stewart Keller. Thank you. That is helpful for, the goblins of YouTube. But I have a mini that I've been using for a long time, the Hill Giant, and he's over there. And if I'd thought about it, I would have had him ready. The Hill Giant that the players faced way, way, way back on their trip up to Hrothgar's Eyes. They faced a giant, and I got that giant from the Hooded Goblin, and it was also Song of Ice and Fire. Well, they were trying to clear out some Munchin dice. Because stuff that sits on the shelf too long, it's just not going to go. So they had all of their Song of Ice and Fire stuff on sale, like 20% off or something. Or no, it was half off. It was better. It was half off. It couldn't have been half off. It was half off. It was 50% off. So I got a whole whack of stuff. These are just the tip of the iceberg. Actually, I didn't get a whole whack. I got some, and Fleetwood got some. And he's painted his up as well. I should put him on somewhere. We have snow up where we are at. No, today was warm. It was warm. Like I went into the office and the air conditioning had kicked in. That's how warm it was. The Hooded Dragon's Lair. So it was very warm. So if we had any snow, it would have utterly melted. How about you, Jay? Any snow where you are? I forget where people are. People tell me, and then I'm like, oh yeah, you're down in such and such. But then I forget because I'm a forgetful man. I'm going to start painting, and I'll still keep talking because I always keep talking. I never stop. I never shut up. But There we are. Arizona. Right. Well, now there's mountains in Arizona. You could have some. I'm going to, pardon me, up the light. You don't need to see. Ooh, good. You know what? I'm just going to remove myself. Oh, but if I remove myself, you won't be able to hear me. Oh, well. Just try not to look at my pale, pasty face. It's actually not that pale and pasty. It's just the light is bright. Okay. So I need to position my camera so that, pardon me, position my camera so you can actually see the painting surface. So if I got to paint it around here, that means I can put my water there. That'll remind me. Well, how's everyone doing tonight? You've had the top off since March. Do you mean your car or your shirt? What was it supposed to be in your area there, Wheeling? I love Arizona, Jay. I've probably told you this already because I've asked and you've said Arizona, and I've told you already. But Arizona, if I were to move to the States, Arizona would be the state I'd want to move to. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And I love the culture and the history. 2 back-to-back appointments. Good heavens. Exhaustorino. Case was taken identity. Robert, Earl of Lockspit, is arrested today and summarily released. The sheriff mistook him again. We're running with it. I love it. I have been saving these brushes. Now, I got them at a dollar store, but for some reason, I mean, they're called Artist Series. You're not going to be able to read that, but it says Artist Series, which means, oh, they must be nice. It's a dollar store. But I've been saving them for some reason, and I think it's to do tonight's, some of tonight's work, the broader stuff, like the horse flesh. The horse. Is it hair? It's hair, not fur, not a horse. These guys can go off stage. So I'm gonna be. It is what it is, Wheeling. I hope the 2 appointments moved you in the right direction. You were supposed to get some thunderstorms. So I'm going to ask you a question, all, and I want you to chime in on this one. The Artiste series. Yes, Atlanta would be. I want to know, do you want this first horse? Should I make this, and don't say Palomino because I can't do that. Solid. Should this first horse be a gray color, a brown color, light brown, dark brown? Where do we go with this? I don't want to do black simply because although there are black horses, I think if I painted it black, I don't think it would look good. Somehow I don't think it would look right. I think it would look like paint. Good, I'm glad they're moving in the right direction. Oh. Right. Your pal, the Palomino. No. Light brown. Calling it a day. Been along, and tomorrow will be the same. Waiting on Dungeon Master's Guide and Player's Handbook for AD&D 1E. Cool. There would be none more black. More black, perhaps, to thee. But not to thee, to me. And she. And we. And other people. Never mind. How's your friend, by the way, Wheeling? How's your friend doing? Brown with some white? Well, isn't that Palomino? I don't know. Fur, so fur, okay. So light brown. Okay. All right. This one, I'm not going to name this horse, so it'll be a horse with no name. The horse is going to be the first thing I paint because that's the bottom layer. I try to pay some attention to layers so that I don't know if having to paint under something. You know what I mean? Like it's easier to paint the next thing up. So some of this brush is too big for. I think this whole brush is just too big for this. I don't know, the hindquarters I can do. I just want to use this brush, that's all. Oh, good heavens. Ooh. It's with Neil Young. Walk through the desert on a horse with no name. So now when I play the game that, um, first of all, let me finish one thing at a time. Do give her our best, and let her know we've got her in mind. When I play the one-on-one game that Bob Johnny runs for me, my character Balin, which is yes stolen from the Honeywood, from Epic NPC Man. He has a horse with no name, so it's written on my character sheet, horse with no name. Because of course, when you have a horse, and you're at the time like 7-year-old DM wants to know, what do you name your horse? Because that's what a 7-year-old, when they get a horse, the first thing they think about is its name. They're not thinking about, do I have good saddle and tack for it? Is it a war horse? They don't. They want to know the name. Yeah, we suspect this is a better than we don't know. That is such a frustrating and frightening time when people have, clearly something's wrong and they don't know what it is. It's so hard. It's so hard. Fleetwood has a friend in school who is one. Fleetwood had, we homeschooled the boys when they were younger, and the other two are still homeschooled, and perfectly happy to homeschool them all the way through, but we do give them the opportunity. Fleetwood is in high school now, and in public school, and he's kind of regretting the choice so far. But anyway, I should do this on camera. Man, I'm bad at this. But one of his friends, who was also homeschooled until this year, had leukemia 5 years back and went into remission. But it's back. It's back. So we're hoping, but when it comes back, it ain't good. That's Philadelphia. I didn't know that leukemias were named after cities. Out of the rain. Oh. John Stewart Keller. I take away what I said about you being serious. You had Elmer the horse. Crocheted a huggable-sized plushie of my late husband's character. Yes, you absolutely can. You absolutely can, Wheeling. Thanks, everyone. And, 15 is too young to be going through that. And 10 was too young to be going through it. See, it's 5 years ago. 10 or 11, I guess. It's too young. And for Fleetwood's sake, it's not... obviously, he's not the primary person affected here, but I do think about that, When I was his age, all my friends were perfectly healthy. Didn't have any... we had one friend who was in a wheelchair, been in a wheelchair his entire life. He was perfectly healthy, just had no legs, but he was perfectly healthy. In any other by any other metric, if you keep doing it, it'll keep wiping the paint off, Father. But it's a heavy thing, It's a heavy thing. It's a heavy thing for anybody. But 15, cripes. Everything should be up and happy and, positive at 15. You shouldn't be thinking about these things. And certainly you shouldn't be dealing with them in yourself. Yes, the reason I'm doing it now and not April 2nd when I meant to do it was I had rattle canned it, and it just hadn't dried. So yes, it is. I'm just, this is the thing I do with paint all the time. I fuss. I'm not a good painter. I'm a terrible, on drywall doing the mud, the taping. I'm awful at that because I just keep fussing. I'm going to raise this camera a little. And hopefully I can keep in camera now as I'm doing it. I mean, not that it's fascinating, I'm sure. And it's not a great camera, so it's not showing you great detail. But I mean, it's better than watching an empty table while I've pulled the mini way up off of it. But I fuss. I won't just do a thing and leave it. Sent the pics. Let's see. Can I show the picture of the plushie itself there, Wheeling? No, it is a base coat of gray. It is a base coat of gray. It's just a yo, Patrick Buckley, how you doing? Great. So what I do when I try to drywall, when I'm there you go, mudding the seams, and you gotta scrape it. Oh, I just keep going back, and then I nick it up. I'm terrible. Well, I'm glad you say that. I'm glad you feel that way, but I would like you to actually see something. So this is the character, the plushie of Wheeling's late husband's character. Nice beard going on there. Nice beard action. Yes, Grumpy, they're looking for a match. He has 2 siblings, and one of them may be a match. And if not, then they're going to go worldwide looking, blood type's all wrong for anyone in our family. But I don't know how much that matters. But I know it's the best hope is a near relative, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay. It's supposed to be no. There. That's better. A paladin of the colors of the shirt represent his character's colors of black and purple, and my character's colors of black and light blue. Nice. Yes, Road March, putting up drywall, I'm all about that. I liked that process. I especially liked when we rented the rig to put the ceiling stuff up, because this house, when we got in here, it was lath and plaster, classic lath and plaster, and it's a brick house, and it's built with 3 layers of brick. The wall is just brick, and then it was just every few courses of brick, there'd be a beam set in instead of the inside brick, course. And to those beams were nailed furring strips, and on the furring strips was nailed the lath. So there was like this much room between the lath and the brick. So there was no insulation. I mean, none. It was brick and plaster, and that was it. So we tore out the lath and plaster. The plaster was all cracked and reeked of cigarette smoke, because the woman we bought it from smoked like a chimney. We washed the walls, or the door frames, because again, we tore out the lath and plaster. We washed the door frames. The water just came out just a thick yellow, like the water came out and you could pick it up and stretch it. It was so gross. But we tore out all the walls and then built stud walls inside. So then the walls are now super thick, 3 layers of brick plus a stud wall, and so we did everywhere. And in some places we had to do the ceilings as well. In here we did not, but in the upstairs we had to do ceilings. And it's just so much easier to get one of those things. You crank it up and it lifts it. 25% chance to manage. Yeah, Grumpy. It's not a. It's sort of a crapshoot if you're not related. I certainly hope. I don't know if they found out yet. I certainly hope, though, that his siblings are a match. I mean, for more than one reason. First of all, because what a gift to be able to give a sibling. If it's needed, which we wish it wasn't, but it clearly is. So what a gift to be able to give. And also just because that would be a step closer to this kid having treatment, stem cell replacement. I've got 2 parishioners who've had stem cell, and stem cell. What's it called? And you know what? It worked in both cases so far. I mean, with one of them, it's been some years. The other one happened sort of at the tail end of lockdowns. So we're waiting on that one to see how it all turns out. But so far, so good there. So far, so good. Looks like it took. The other fellow, though, it's been 10 years, I want to say. And he's not a kid. He's not old. He's older than I am, but then it's the Anglican Church. Everyone is. Kidding. We actually have a whole bunch of babies at our 8:30 service now. Because of course with a baby they're up that early anyway, right? Why not go to church? But so he's not very old, but he's old enough that even if it bought him 10 years, he'd be pretty darn tootin' happy with it. But we think he seems to be in perfectly good shape. Although with leukemia, this kid was was perfectly healthy, and then boom, right? It's not something that necessarily telegraphs its arrival. Okay. Slap chop. I do slap chop. I do it, and then the model maker comes and slaps me. Says, "What have you done to my model?" Building out the basement. Cool. Our basement is, we could actually, it would make it much smaller because it's stone foundation. It's fieldstone foundation, right? Old school, 1800s. But it'd be neat to put a room down there. The problem is the floor is dirt. We'd have to dig down, and I'd worry about what that would do to the walls, because if you put a floor there, because you'd have to raise it somewhat off the dirt. If we put a floor there, I'd be bumping my head I bump my head anyway. That's not really worth it. Just have a cellar, really. Oh, no, I don't want a different color. Oh, my heavens. Whew. What was I doing? Okay. Ramp into your workshop so you don't have to worry about having someone here tonight. Yeah. That's nice. We had to get a ramp on the back door of the church offices. Every building we have 3 buildings, the church itself, the hall, where we have Clericon, late October 24th through 26th of 2025. Registrations will open in about a month, I think. Anyway, the only building that isn't ramp accessible is the church offices, which used to be the rectory. Okay. I have we've got a light brown, a really tan. What's next? We got gray, dark gray. We got a number of different browns. Like I could do a darker brown, a much darker brown. What do y'all think? It's gonna be this fella. Walking through the desert with a rider with no name. So I've got cinnamon. I really don't have much of this plain old brown left. Cinnamon, I've got country maple. I have golden brown, and then I have another golden brown by a different company, and they are very different colors. More golden, more brown. Yeah. And lots of grays as well. Nice, Road March. Nice. Okay, I'm not seeing a decision from folks here. Making me do it all by myself. Well, that's probably okay. Cinnamon? I hear a cinnamon from John Stuart Keller in his radio voice. I've given him this radio voice. And it turns out he talks like this. When I get sick and I have a cold, I sound like Morgan Freeman. Terrible joke. Terrible joke. Terrible Conan joke. Yeah, that's a good choice, Cinnamon. Horse butt. You paint that horse butt, Cinnamon. Who'll take care of Secretariat if I get all hurty in my legs? I've been watching clips of Craig Ferguson making himself laugh, and it is the funniest thing ever. Cinnamon, oh, good Lord. I was so wrong about you being very serious, wasn't I? Yes. Speaking of cinnamon, there's going to be another live stream. I'm live streaming a lot this week because Nerd Council of Doom is this Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. But earlier that day, I'm going to be opening a package from Dirty Basement Terrain. He has sent me a package. This is mostly minis. This isn't his terrain stuff. It's stuff for Claricon is coming later. But he sent me a box of just minis that he's never gonna paint. Like, you know, he knows this about himself. So he sent me this box. He says there's something else in it, and I know what it is. I know darn well what it is. It's cinnamon Pop-Tarts, brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts. So I'm looking forward to opening that. But he is Lawrence, a Dirty Basement Terrain. He's a construction inspector, like he goes to construction sites and makes sure they're not, you know, violating codes or ignoring safety standards and stuff like that. At any rate, he has a 4 a.m. inspection tomorrow. 4 a.m. So he could not stay up late enough to watch this tonight. I was going to do it tonight because it arrived today. But I said, you know, it'd be better if you could be there for it. You know, it's nicer if the person who sent it all can watch, because it's nice to watch the reaction. You could watch the replay later, but, you know, that's never, it's nice to be there in the moment. So I thought I'd just put that off till Saturday morning. It has to be, though, it has to be a time when the boys are either in bed or not here, because I would like to use it if there's stuff I can use on the table, right? I don't want to see it ahead of time. I like to surprise them. And as it happens, Saturday morning, they have violin lessons. And since we got the dog, I really can't go with the violin lessons. So that's going to be Saturday morning. I don't know the exact time yet. Probably 10 o'clock in the morning, I think. Eastern time again. Because DBT, he's on Eastern time as well. He's down in Pennsylvania. So that'll be cool. I guess what I gather, he told me, and it was a while ago, and Lent and Holy Week and Easter have been between when he told me, and now I think it is. I think it's Reaper miniatures. I am just really slathering first coat on these horses. I'm not. It's going over the tack and everything because I can pick. I can go over this later and just pick out the tack, right? What's hard is trying to get the horse's, the hair, the horse's, its body and whatnot, without getting the tack. So that's why I do this first. And so I'm really not a very good painter. And I'm comfortable with that. I'm comfortable. This is not a skill I particularly have. I mean, I watch like Paint Minis live. I watch him paint. I'm like, oh, crying out loud. You know, he knows what he's doing. He's using airbrushes and the whole 9 yards. He's good. And other people too. But me, I put the, I don't, it's not even slap chop. I just slap. I just slap. And then the model makers want to chop my head off. How was everyone's Easter, incidentally? Though for those who celebrate one way or another, do you guys have good time? It is looking good when it's drying. It is. It is. It's hard to tell on this camera. This is not the world's best camera. But yeah. Yeah, it's not too bad. I wonder if it would be clearer up here. Oh, good heavens. You can... Don't show me horses, paleface. Get in there. Oh, you mean the mane? Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking either lighter brown for the mane or black for the mane and tail. That always looks good with brown. Yeah, we had for Easter Sunday after Mass, we had a Easter egg hunt on the grounds for little kids, and it was a blast. My boys were deputized by the bunny to hide eggs, and they loved that. They loved that, being able to run around and hide, and then helping the kids find them, because some little kids, right? Little kids. The eggs are in perfect plain sight, but really little kids don't even know what they're doing, right? So they took the little kids around. Bob Johnny in particular is really good with the tiny guys. He's the baby whisperer in the parish. And so he was going around helping the little... They all were, though. They all were. Fleetwood was, being the safety officer, making sure no one ended up in the river, because we do have a river right along our property, which is delightful when you come to Claricon. You can, between games, watch the river go by. Hear me advertising? Do you hear me advertising? Got to admire the hustle, even if you're annoyed by the ads. It was quiet. Sadly, I had to miss church because it was raining and since I can't wear shoes. Oh. Ow. Does your church have a online? Ever since lockdowns, we live stream our early liturgy. Just I don't live stream the later one because the later one has music, and then you get in all sorts of copyright problems. Even though the hymns we sing are mostly Victorian things or ancient Latin or something, but they're some Celine Dion has recorded that hymn at some point, and the computer thinks that she wrote it. But week leading up to Easter was good. Visiting family in Europe. Yes, you were on a trip. Well, there you go. I suppose there wasn't a lot of competition for traveling. Easter, good gathering of family. I had a little trouble getting through all the hymns. I have the same disorder as my dad and granddad. Misplaced organ. My bladder is too close to my eyes. I know what you mean. There are hymns that I cannot. It's mostly Holy Week ones. My song is Love Unknown. I can't sing it without crying. I really can't. Amazing Grace will do it to me. That one's pretty personal. I was in a play, because I was an actor before I was a priest, and I was in the play, which I've forgotten the name of. Hotel Baltimore. And my character sang Amazing Grace, and it was just around the time I had come back to the church. And so the song has a lot of meaning for, if you've been away and come back home. So I have trouble getting through that one. Except there's an organist in our area. He's a good organist. He's really quite talented. But for some reason, He's got it in his head that Amazing Grace is an amazing race. And he plays that thing like he has somewhere to be 10 minutes ago. He can't even breathe between the lines. Not any other hymn, no. He plays everything else at a decent, but that one, for some reason, it's like he doesn't like it and he wants it over with or something. Or he's got a hot date to get to. Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound of it. Come on, slow it down. Some of us are trying to sing here. That's not our organist. Our organist does not play it that fast, but every once in a while we'll have this guy filling in or whatnot. Okay, I think I have slathered this poor horse with as much paint as I'm gonna. All right. We got a light brown, we got a dark brown. What do we want now? He should chill out, yes. Be not afraid. Yeah. That's a lovely one. That's a lovely one. Stuck with family. Mother-in-law and stepdaughter. Oh, now. I have to say, I am very fortunate. My in-laws are lovely people. And I'm not just saying that because they're subscribers. They actually aren't. They're lovely people. Guac. You're planning for the guac. I'm running a game for guac. Some bands get copyright struck for performing their own music. So other parishes, that's good. Wheeling, you're able to watch something. There's I would say companies. They're not companies. They're shysters. A lot of them in North Korea who go on to YouTube and they catalog old public domain music, and they say this is ours, so that if anyone else goes to upload something with a public domain song, the computer doesn't know that this is public domain. The computer just recognizes the notes and bing. And a lot of people either they don't notice it because you have to go back to your analytics sometimes. You get an email sometimes. I think now you get an email, but when we were originally doing it, you didn't get an email. You had to go on and look, and it would say, "Oh, you got a copyright strike." Not a strike, but it was a copyright claim. And what they do is they wouldn't give you a strike. They'd let the video stay up because what they want is to earn ad revenue from that video because they've claimed the music. Just do some honest work, Yeah, acapella is quite lovely. You know what? Amazing Grace has the same meter as House of the Rising Sun. Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. Fortunately, I'm a bad enough singer that won't get copyright struck because the computer's like, I don't know what notes those were. But anyway, if you sing it to yourself, it's really, really beautiful. Because if you know House of the Rising Sun and what it's about, and Amazing Grace, what it's about, it fits so beautifully. Okay, third horse. The summons, Here I Am, Lord. Yeah. Running 4 games for guac. Good heavens. Actually, Amazing Grace also has the same meter as the theme song to Gilligan's Island. Sing that to yourself. Oh, there we go. You just say, great minds think alike. Yes. Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale, because you can also do both of them now to House of the Rising Sun. I know. Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale. So how about this third horse? What kind of color is he? Oh dear. The dog, he is a whinging. I think the dog is going to need to pee soon. First heard of the blinded boys from Alabama. Yeah. You know what? It is really beautiful, Patrick. It really is, especially if you know the House of the Rising Sun, because man, that song, right? The video for that is so weird. The animals, and they're just all in suits and just walking. He's like walking around with this just deadpan, no affect. So yeah, visual math. That is That's a handy feature, the Saturday Night Vigil Mass, I have to say. It's a handy feature that our Roman brothers and sisters take part in. Dog, what are you whinging about? Do you actually have a biological need here, or are you just whinging because Mama's going to be home in about half an hour? What are you whinging about? No. Yeah. Well, you got appointments. That's going to take precedence. Okay, guys. He's whinging, so this is what we're going to do. Put this right there. I did see this coming. I don't know what that has to do with. Anyway, I'm going to go see if the dog has to do anything. Chat amongst yourselves. And when I come back, I want a color for this third horse, okay? I've got grays. I've got, darker browns, lighter browns, warm browns. Come up with something, okay? All right, dog. Oh. Okay. All right. He did have to actually do. I don't know if that's why he was whining. We always do a. I can't say it because he's right here. We always have an evening perambulation, and I think he really wanted that. But at least now I know he won't explode on the rug. Okay, I'm not doing purple. Let's see. Let's scroll up here. Oh, Grumpy's fading. So Grumpy's off. Well, I hope he has a good night. I think it's too late to say goodnight to him. The whinge of the dog goes round and round. Yeah. Horse of a different color, purple. Hello, Shadow and Sun. How are you doing? Hello. White with brown or black splotches, kind of like a cow. Purple and white. Palomino. I said earlier, Palomino's off-white horse might be a good idea. Off-white paints, yeah. Old paint. White with brown spots here and there. Oh, making me work for it, guys. White with brown spots. The only thing is there's not a lot of horse. I guess back here on the rump, you could do some splotchy. A horse with I can't get to my keyboard. It's buried behind all that paint stuff. But if someone can look up for me, when a horse is white with brown spots, what the legs end up looking like. Do they tend to be brown? Do they tend to be white? Do the spots continue on the legs? But I have the feeling that there's something that it actually looks like, and that if I did it wrong, it would look weird. I'm going to do white with some brown spots. It's going to be a creamy white. It's not going to be a white. I'm actually going to do cream, and I'm going to add a little tan to it as well. Shadow, if you're still here, it was a fun chat going on over at your place tonight, or this afternoon. Well, for you, it will be afternoon. It was early evening for me, I guess. Shadow runs a book club, the Appendix N book club. They were talking about one of the Zelazny Amber ones. It was the which one was it? Anyway, one of the Amber Chronicles books. Yes, it's Appendix N, so it's the stuff from. There is some paint in there. I know there is. I can feel it. I know you're in there. I can hear you breathing. Yes, it's the stuff that was linked at the or linked. Listen to me, Mr. Digital. Lower legs are white. Thank you. The books that were listed in the Appendix N of in AD&D. So it the things that inspired, sort of for the idea was for further reading, to get ideas and inspiration, check out these books. So this is really, I don't know if you can see this color very well. It looks whiter on screen, at least on mine. But it's actually a slightly brownish, just really slight. Okay, chunk of, that bottle, that tan that I stuck in there. It's kind of going. It's kind of getting cottage cheesy. I'm trying to speed up on this because I really realized how little I'm getting done, how long I'm taking to do it, which is the story of my life. Yeah, so I don't know if Shadow's still around because he showed up when I wasn't here, but yeah. If you are there, Shadow, let us know what nights, if it's a regular thing or if you just kind of do it when the whim strikes you. But they read a book and then they get together and chat about it. And as I say tonight, it was Zelazny. And I just read those. I mentioned it last time I had a paint chat, I believe. Lightmane sent me the Chronicles of Amber, the first sort of series of them, the Corwin stories. And that was in this. It was in that. It was in that series that they were reading. Either or, sometimes on the same horse. Yes, I imagine. Okay, as long as it's there is a. I'm going to put the creamy color there, and then I'll just go over it with a little brown later. This because I put that real light brown in there, just a little bit of it, but it looks like actually it's starting to look a little pink. It'll dry better, I think. It'll dry better. So we had I said I already told you about the Easter egg hunt already. I'm so chuffed about it because it was because it was my idea. I mean, not Easter egg hunts; those have been going on forever. But we're looking for things to do because it's the 200th anniversary of the village in which our church is. Our church isn't 200, but the village is, and to participate in a lot of community events, and because we're the really kind of only. Well, there's another church up the hill from us, but I think it's much smaller. We're not a big church by any means. Our village isn't that big. And the other church across the river from us, they closed. They sold the property. They were twinned with another parish in a joint adjacent town, so they closed their church down in the Glen. So now it's a Montessori school. So because of that, we're sort of we're the only cultural institution that is open for everyone. Like there's a school, but that's for the kids and the parents of the kids, and there's a pub, but that's if you're drinking or buying food and you have to pay to be there. So we're the only place that kind of just is open for everyone, and so a lot of the activities are happening at our church. And so we should do an Easter egg hunt. And so my boys would love to hide the eggs. I volunteered them, knowing my boys, and they absolutely enjoyed it. But yeah, we had a bunch of kids out and hid hundreds of eggs. I mean, when I say hid, like mostly they were just on the lawn. Because again, it was for little kids. It was for little kids. It was a lot of fun. I am just slapping it on now. I'm really trying to go a little faster here. Like I'm so ponderous with painting. I'm so ponderous. I go over everything like a million times. I put on too much paint. I'm a mess, people. I'm a mess. Just a mess. But I'm your mess. Oh. Church and pub. I want to see a road. I want to see a. Actually, we've got two venues. There's a town hall, quote unquote. It's not really a town hall. There's no government officials who work there at all. There's this town hall down the road, which is the closest thing to another, but it's just a rental venue mostly. They have the community association has meetings there and stuff like that, but it really is very much a rental kind of thing. They do the board of the town hall puts on the Canada Day celebrations, but otherwise it's really just a rental. But we're renting it for a second space, so we're getting bigger. So if anyone is coming and could run a game, especially of the old school variety, I'd love it. I'd love it. And if you've run one game in the past and you can run 2 games this year, I'd love it. If you want to, I don't want to force people into it, but I really could use the extra DMs. And I also am going to need to get people lined up to help supervise that other venue. I think Fleetwood might. He's 15. He's old enough to take responsibilities for things now. Okay, that's going to have to dry before I put any brown on, of course. It should dry before I try doing any more touch-ups with the light color as well. Yeah, I know, Wheeling. Am I sure I'm not Roman Catholic? I'm not, but I am on the Catholic end of Anglican. Anglicans sit between Protestant and Roman Catholic. We bridge the gap. We still have bishops and priests and deacons and sacraments on Sundays, but we don't have a pope. Neither does Rome at the moment, fortunately. But sede vacantis, we don't have a pope. We can get married. Women can be priests, things like that. So there's differences. 4th horse. I'm doing a light gray. Because I kind of want a light gray horse. Stormcloud. And that is the horse's name, too. Forward, Stormcloud. Walking through the desert on a horse with a name. And Stormcloud is the bannerman's horse. So I saved the best for last. Well, I've saved the great thing about this is that I don't have to worry about getting a complete coat, because if I miss anything, it'll just be gray. Yeah, now you're whining because you want to go on our evening perambulation. Our evening perambulations often turn into evening peregrinations. And I was wondering the other day if a peregrination is where peregrine falcons. It must be. Kind of wandering falcons. Anyway. Things I think about when walking the dog. I say, a perambulation, but it's really going out to sniff things with a little bit of running between the sniffs, like sniff this, runaways, sniff this, runaways. Yeah, I mean, how beautiful though that he spent like the last of his strength to bless the people at Easter. That's a nice thing. If you're gonna go, that's how you gotta go, and we are gonna go. As a priest, personally, what I want to do is I want to go celebrating Mass. I want to finish the Eucharistic prayer, elevate the chalice, crack, eat, drink, die. That's what I want. That's what I want. Don't eat what? Oh, don't eat that. Yes. Walking the dog. Yes. Sticks, rocks. So I had to fix the fence today. With a few years back, we had a fence put in, and you know how it happens. There's always a piece of lumber or two. We only had one, which is good, that warps, and it doesn't matter how mightily the screws tried to hold it in place. Boom! You know, it's out like it's like a hockey stick, and so I had to replace it because specifically because we got back from our speaking of nighttime perambulations, nocturnal perambulations, we got back, and afterward, you know, walking, it works things out in a dog, and so we go to the backyard for him to do his business, and he's bolt straight, and there was a skunk in the backyard. It had gotten through that gap in the fence. Now it could probably crawl under the fence anyway, but I certainly don't want to encourage it. So I decided that it's now beyond mere aesthetics. I do actually need to get that fixed. So I got a fence board and went out today and replaced it. I tied Goober up to the back deck because the boys were not. They were occupied with things that they needed to be doing, and I didn't want to drag them away, like violin practice and math schoolwork and stuff like that. I didn't want to drag them away from that. And Fleetwood wasn't home, and so it was just the younger two. So I took the dog out with me, and I figured I could air the dog out too. I mean, he wouldn't mind that. So we go out there, and I just barely got the work done because I kept having to stop and walk over there and take a stick out of his mouth, a rock. You know, he's eating grass at one point. And this is not an I'm sick thing. It's just stuff on the ground. You know, like you're a carnivore. You're not a cow. Knock it off. I mean, in a lot of ways, he's a smart dog. He's picked up a lot of tricks. Handy things like, you know, lifting his paws so that when we come inside, he lifts his paws. I say paw, and he lifts his paw so I could wipe off on a muddy day. And he so he's very good. He's picked that up. He's picked up a number of little tricks that we taught him, not just to teach him tricks, but also because the activity would be useful for, like, it would accomplish something for us. And he picks them up really well. He's really quick at that stuff. But you know, jumping up when we come home and eating sticks and other garbage off the ground. I despair of him ever learning not to do that. Okay, Storm Cloud, you're looking good. The underparts of the horse, I don't mean that to be euphemistic, but those two are hard to get at on this model. Now, the other thing is they're hard to see, but somehow I find that the bits that are hard to reach with a brush nevertheless show up bright and clear. Real easy sight line right to the area you can't get a brush into. I want to take the model makers out to the woodshed sometimes. Okay, he's pretty well covered. And the great thing is, again, he may not be well covered, but because it's gray on gray, no one's ever going to know. Oh, yeah, the wool over there, they'll know. That doesn't look good. There. Man. Okay. Storm Cloud. Hello, off-grid. Hello, off-grid. Let's see. Oh, yes, the pup is spayed. Oh, yeah, the pup is spayed. He is spayed. That was before we got him. Although, actually, we had to wait a couple weeks on the adoption because he was getting that done. Let's see. His personal nurse had encouraged him to go. Anyway, hang on. Let's zoom up here. I missed some stuff. Pope Francis, yeah. Personal nurse had encouraged him to go out since it was Easter. Yeah. Yeah. No, not sprayed. Oh, I thought you said spayed. No, he did not get sprayed. I saw what he was looking at soon enough and dragged him away. Dogs and paratroopers. It is, John Stewart. It is a dangerous thing about, and I think about the times when I was on, because I used to, during lockdowns, I walked like crazy every night, and several times I saw skunks, and now I think of doing that again now with the dog. Oh dear, So, yes, he did get spayed, but not sprayed. Ridiculous. Okay. Say it, don't spray it. Spay it, don't spray it. Okay. Next. I am looking, so I'm going to have to, in about 15 minutes, a little under 15 minutes, I'm going to have to stick him back in his crate because when my wife comes home, he jumps up on her. She likes to get in and get set before that happens. He's just not very good about that. Okay, mane for this guy. Actually, the gray kind of looks good. I mean, I'd go over it with a legit paint rather than just but that looks actually pretty good. I have to touch it up anyway because I hit it with the base, the fur coat, fur hair, whatever, and the straps. That's going to be tedious work, folks. That's going to be tedious work. That's going to be more than one night. I'm going to go with a darker gray for the mane and tail, not slate. That has a sort of bluishness to it. They're not patient. They're not patient. They're not. He's getting better in the morning. The whinging, right? Because he's never eaten. No one has ever given him food. And in the morning he wakes up starving right to death. Of course, because no one fed him last night, and the night before that, no one's actually fed him for 2 months. You'd think to listen to him. Yes, I'm talking about you. Don't look at me like that. I am actually going to... Boy, that's not a lot in there, is there? I need more paint, boys. I am going to, if I can get any paint out of this, mix a little black in there just to get a little darker. I don't want the slate again because it's got a sweetly disposed. Oh gosh, yes. He's a sweet little dog. He's little. He's getting big. He's a sweet dog, but he is not a patient animal. He tries your patience, but he has none of his own. Do you want to say hello to the people, Magoo? Let's see. Oh, that's too much black. That's way too much. Come here, Magoo. Come here. Come here. This side, over here. You dipstick. Oh, not that way. This way. This way. No, no. Come here. Come here. Get up. Get. Sometimes I wish you were a terrier. I could pick him up here. If Mohammed won't go to the mountain. Here's Magoo. Hey, you gonna say hi to people? You gonna say hi? Up here. Yeah, you have no idea what I'm doing. You got no idea. This is Magoo. This is Magoo. Here, we'll show you. Let's show off. Let's show off. Paw. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah. What a smart dog. What a smart dog you are. So why do you still eat sticks? If you're so smart, why do you eat sticks? Why do you eat sticks? So that's Magoo. That's Magoo. He is a cutie. He is a cutie. Okay. Oh. Yeah. Nope. I'm not going to go anywhere. Oh, that dog. Get a little paint from over here and it all together. That's just turning black. Oh, there's a good dark gray. Dark gray, I think, is going to look good. I say to myself, hopefully. Okay, yeah. All right. All right. Yeah, it's no effect because it's the same color as the. You know what would be better? You know what would be better? Good evening, Diondu. Diondu. Don't know how to say it, but you're very welcome. Nice to see you. I'm going to first give it black so it gets in the cracks and then go over it with the gray. It's like your old dog, Dixie. Is your old dog a coonhound? He is reputedly a coonhound Rottweiler mix. He does have the little Rottweiler eyebrows, the little tan eyebrows, but other than that, I don't see any Rottie in him at all. Maybe he's bulkier than a coonhound. I've never had a coonhound before, so I don't know. I don't know if he's any bulkier than other coonhounds. Well, now you're coming over to that side just to try to eat the extension cord. Thanks. Hello, Ricky Maru. It's going well. It's going well. We're painting minis and taking dogs out for peas. So now he's waiting for my wife to get home. He wants my wife to get home, and he wants his evening perambulation, which is a ritual now. Every night since we got him, I've taken him for a late night. Oh, no, not every night. When it snowed, up to my eyebrows, I did not take him out in that. There was no moving. You couldn't. You couldn't on the sidewalks. It was impossible. But ever since that went away, I have taken him out for a good long perambulation, and I'm avoiding the W word for a reason. Because once I say it, the whining will intensify. Just getting a black on here. I'm going over this with a gray later, but I wanted to get the black on it so that if I dry brush over, it'll get the ridges and the interior. Dye undo. Cool. It's a keyboard splat from 20 years ago, so it doesn't really matter how it's pronounced. Okay. I did a keyboard splat, and it has been my password. I can't tell you what it is, obviously, but it's been my password for things for years now. And I know they tell you not to, but it's so random because it literally was just a keyboard splat. I like that phrase. I'm gonna use that. I know the problem isn't people guessing it. It's actually data mining and hacking and stuff like that. But I feel invulnerable. I'm actually kind of liking the look of the black. Wow, I missed a lot more on this one. This is the first one I did, and I missed a lot. I should really go back and redo a lot of this. Yeah, I missed a lot of. I'm actually kind of liking the look of the black, folks. Maybe it's a little too much. I don't know. I used the black on the brown horse, I think. I think that's what I wanted to do. Yeah, we're painting night. These are the soldiers of the horsemen of forgot my own character's name. Morgan Mar of Lord Morgan at Akegmar, and it's a plains. It's a based on the tower keeps on the Scottish-English border to protect against the reavers. It's based on one of those towers, and so, but it's out on the plains. And of course, the best way to defend a wide open grassland is with cavalry. So Morgan's banner is his sigil is a horseman, and so he's got a lot of cavalry. So I'm getting them ready because I smell a battle coming. I smell a battle. I know a battle's coming. Whether the players decide to be involved in it or not is another issue. But they're making noises like they want to be. But the hobgoblins and the orcs have allied and are on their way to the human lands because the human lands are in turmoil of a civil war. The good hobgoblins are striking while the iron is hot. While their enemy is distracted, they are going to attack. So I better prepare the defenses. Also painting monster-sized chicken. Okay. Wow, that's a big chicken. That's a big chicken. Chicken of Bigby. I read that and I thought, did I read that wrong? But you did say chicken. So if I'm fighting that, I'm enlisting the help of a local giant and saying, look, you want a chicken dinner? Have I got the chicken for you? Only problem is that it's not dead yet, so let's go. You can just see the soldiers on the battlefield. If we win this, we'll eat like kings. Charging at the chicken with dipping sauces. What are you doing? Oh. He goes and he goes to the windows and he rests his head on the window ledge to look out. And he started doing that when he was smaller. We've had him since January and he's gotten bigger. So now, like back then, he was reaching his head up, and now he sort of lowers his head to put it on the window. So, take its eggs. An omelet to feed an army. I don't know why I keep associating that chicken with an army. I think it's because I've got armies going on, but you didn't say you were using it against an army. You're using it against your PCs, who may or may not be involved in an army. I don't know your campaign. See, there's some horse I missed. It's just some stuff that didn't quite. And I nicked one of the ears with black. Cover that up. One of the things I like, and I say this every time I do a crafting video where I paint, but one of the things I really do like about painting with craft paints, I know it's not the greatest paint ever, but it dries very quickly, which is usually a good thing because if you want to go back and add further details, it doesn't take long and it's already dry. Like that black that I put on, it's already dry. So I can do the rest of the main now. A chicken that size can only be defeated by a hen. John, you do have children, don't you? These dad jokes are not being wasted. I'm just angry I didn't think of them. Okay, now we're going to do this is very subtle. Don't know if it's showing in the video at all, but it's looking pretty good. It's exactly what I wanted to happen. It's catching the ridges and leaving the deeper parts black. You said earlier, Diandu, am I painting knights? Actually, no, I'm not going to get to the knights tonight. It's going to be painting horses tonight. The knights will have to wait for another night. Oh, see what I did there. Ooh, not good. Another color of, and that gray I just put on already dry. Oh, too much. Already dry. Little extra. Okay. That was way more attention to the mane than I thought I was going to give. I wasn't sure that last one was going to land. Oh. The great horse of Sir Robin. Brave Sir Robin. He's a flaming lance. You can cook it in one go. Road March, you say it looks like the great horse of Sir Robin. You may need help. If you saw a horse in that movie, you may be hallucinating. Oh, I gotta hold the horse. I gotta hold the horse. I gotta hold the dog. He's already made it on camera.
Are you supposed to be at Amazon tomorrow? Yeah. Because I have a doctor's appointment at 9:30.
Okay. We will look it up.
Okay.
Hound. Let's see. There we go. Attack and everything's going to have to wait. Interior of the ears. And the knight is really going to have to wait. But it's okay. He's a kid. The knight is young. Okay, black for this one. Just black for this one. Yeah, I like that combo of the kind of rich brown with black mane and tail. Always looks good. Always looks good. Yeah, just keeping the dog from mauling us when we get home is 90% of the challenge. I mean, it's nice. He's happy to see us. I learned I have to put my socks on before I come down in the morning. Otherwise, if I sit there trying to put my socks on, he's licking my feet and trying to eat the socks. Neither of which is pleasant. You know, you don't. That's just not cool. Get your tongue off my feet, dude. Which is not a sentence I ever thought I'd say. See, it's more trim I need to go and more. It's the cutting in that I didn't do terribly well on here. Yeah, so that he doesn't have a lot of mane. This horse, he's got a cropped tail there. His mane isn't very big, but Yeah, I don't know if you can see that at all. It's a good combo. It's a good combo. That works well. That works well. Miss having a pup, but soon enough I'll have one, hopefully. They train service dogs down in Oakville, which is to the south of us. And for the ones they're training is I think it's seeing eye dogs. It's guide dogs, and wow, those dogs are hardcore. You know, they're working dogs, right? They are working dogs, not like this goofball. But he's our goofball. This coming Saturday is gonna be very, very busy. And or Sunday rather. Sunday's gonna be very, very busy. So we're taking him to a doggy day spa for the first time. He won't actually get his nails done, but my in-laws call it a spa when they take their dog to the kennel for the day. So spa. We took him to meet the owner, and so that she could just make sure he's not insane or something. Make sure it's a good fit. And he ran around with the other dogs there. We were there for maybe 20 minutes, 15. He ran around like crazy, having a blast, and then just crashed for the rest of the day. He's so out of shape. Even with our nocturnal perambulations, he's so out of shape. So we're expecting that if he's there pretty much all Sunday during early morning to early evening, he'll be a mess for the next week. Yeah, it could be helpful to have a pal. And you don't want to just get a dog because then that's really more work. Service dog is the idea. It's the way to go there. Way to go. That is the way to go. Yeah, I'm seeing some spots. Seeing some spots that were missed. They're way in there. I don't think anyone's ever going to see them, but I will know they're there and unpainted. Now, here's a question. I don't know what to do with this. So they have these reins on them, right? Because they're a horse. It looks all nice and delicate there, but it's just it's not two reins. It's just this solid piece. What do I paint the bottom of that? Like, it's part of the reins, so brown, or the color of the horse. Brown in this case, but because you'd be seeing through it to the horse in reality, and paint the edges. I don't know. I just don't know. Walking through the desert on a horse with no name. Thin my paints. Let's see. What am I painting? I just saw something that needed painting. I went to go paint it. Oh, right up here. Right up here. I'll try to get that on camera. Not that it matters. Oh, whinge, 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 goes the dog. Spot there. Pretty good. I mean, it's not going to be, I'm not what you call great at this. It's not going to be super duper good, which is fine. Hoofs can be black. Again, try to do it on camera, doofus. So, yay. Now, I have been lately, so all the emotional support animals do that thing now. It's even banning legit. Yeah, they shouldn't at all. I hear you. I hear you, Road. Nature and the Rottweiler calls. My guy is currently whining because my wife is changing out of her work clothes and he's outside the washroom. She's disappeared from his sight for 30 seconds. It's the worst thing ever. Yes, I know. She will be out again. Uh, Oh, I was gonna say I have been lately doing shorts. I don't know if you've seen them. And they're fun for doing something that I don't really want to commit a whole video to. Like I don't want to sit there and talk for 15, 20 minutes, but I want to do a quick shot, it's also apparently gets a whole different audience than sees my full videos. So that's kind of cool. It's been keeping in mind it's a very small channel, so these numbers aren't anything to write home about. But you could picking up like 10 subs a day kind of thing, which is great. It's lovely to see. Hey, Vinny Finnegan. Oh, John. Ah, John. See here. Well, when you have your no thumbs or the concept of time, your world. Yes, no thumbs and yeah. Yes, it's true. It's true. When we've been out of the room for 10 minutes, it has been forever. There's a fabulous, I think his name is Kifness, a YouTube. He's got a whole bunch of different, he's all over social media and the web, but he does these songs where he takes animals, mostly cats, cat meowing, and he turns it into a song. And there's one where the cat sounds like it's saying, "Sometimes I'm alone, sometimes I'm not, sometimes I'm alone. Hello." He turns it into a song, and it's all about that. Like he said he'd be right back, but I guess that was a lie. I just sit here for hours and days. There's only 2 kibbles left in my bowl. I guess I'll starve to death. When you go and the cat starts to think it's been left for good. Well, thank you, Vinny. I you know what? I'm if nothing, I'm cheap. And egg cartons with 3 boys, we have plenty of egg cartons, so I can always get paint cups. So that's all good. Oh, we have been listening to the song of his people for a while now. He's all good. Wake the boys up though. Okay. I just noticed I missed a little tufty tuft on the front of this horse's head. If I don't paint it, it looks like it's a 3rd ear. is the fiddly stuff. This is the really fiddly stuff. Well, there you go. Coop indeed, negative headspace. How you doing? Hope the headspace is positive tonight. Or at least entertainingly negative, if it's negative. This was the one who was supposed to have brown splotches on him, isn't he? Okay. Really, at this point, just looks like I've made a mistake with the paint. It's amazing. It might just end up looking like I'm a sloppy painter, which I am, but it might look more like I'm a sloppy painter. Well, that's okay. I hate to disappoint you all, but I don't think it's looking as good as you had in your imagination. Oh well, it's kind of there. It really just looks like he's got some sort of skin condition. It's got the plague or something. I'll do a little stripe down this. Oh yeah, that's what a lot of times horses will have a sort of stripey on their nose. All right, down their forehead. And you said that on Bring Out Your Dead, someone was saying that on the brown and white ones, a lot of times the legs are brown. Try to make this more rounded and less like I just plopped a paintbrush on it, which is what I did. I'm trying to make it look like I didn't, though. Yeah, it looks like he has lesions. This doesn't look like a healthy horse. I think the other horses are going to tease this horse. I couldn't decide what color to be. Hey, it'd be all of them. I don't know why I'm washing the brush. I'm going to go right back with the same color again. Because I'm not thinking, that's why. Okay, I'm going to try to brown in the bottom. Okay. Go. There we are. A little bit of. This is me trying to be fancy and wet blending. Yes, that's what I'm thinking, Clowny. This is what I'm attempting to do. Just like going to run out of paint as I go up the leg kind of idea. Not a lot of texture on it, I have to say. Well, that's okay. Howdy, loosely. Notice I have a. Do you hear this dog has never, ever, ever gone for a nocturnal perambulation? Never. No one's ever taken him. Terrible. Yeah, this one's a hard coat because it's so light. It very much needs an extra coat. Just slop it on. I did take him out to do his business recently. Okay. All right. Well, he's getting there. He's getting there. Doesn't look too bad. I mean, look, I have no illusions about my capacity as a mini painter, but I do enjoy it. It's relaxing. Yeah, he really just looks like he's got the plague. I may have to. I know the brown and white was a big vote on the brown and white, but I think I may have to. Good morning, Matt. I may have to ignore the will of the people and redo this horse. I may have to redo this horse. He's not looking so good. He's not looking very healthy. Yeah, he's not looking so healthy. Good Lord. Good Lord, deliver him. Poor horse. Okay, my gray guy. I think with the gray, I'm going to go with a black mane on him as well. I think it's just going to look the best. It's also probably the easiest. It's the easiest to get a nice look. Like it looks good for cheap, as it were. It looks good for not much. I think I'm going to get the manes on these last two done. I'm going to wait on that one because I don't know what I want to do with the mane on that. And I think I'm going to redo the paint job. I'm sorry for the white and brown voters, but I just don't quite have the technique to make it happen. It's solid colored horses for me, but it's going to get the manes on these ones done. And then call it a night. Get in. There we are. And a little bit on top is personality. Okay. And I'll probably do a dry brush over these guys, like a super, super dry brush over there. Oh, got his bum, the black spot. Probably do that at the end, just to I say there's not a lot of texture on the model, on the horse flesh parts on the horse, but a very little bit perhaps. Peregrine. So loosely collected appears to be back when I was talking about peregrine falcons. It's peregrination, wandering about. The hooves really helps too. The mane, the tail, and the hooves. Just making those, different colors. It's a small thing, and it's not a super detailed bit. Like, it's not fine detail. It's not real tiny. Like, got to get in close to even notice the kind of thing. But it really accomplishes a lot for a little. I find, at least. Oh. Well, that's unfortunate. Oh. That's unfortunate. My camera just pooped out because I went and I got an extension cord and got it all hooked up in its thing so that, I could, because I noticed it was kind of low on power. And then I didn't plug it in. I plugged in the charger, but I didn't plug the charger into the phone. So the phone will be back soon. Well, welcome to the show either way, loosely. Have you used Army Painter dark tone inks? Fantastic for physics. I have not. Matt, I am so cheap. I am using dollar store craft paint. I feel like using, model paint, like good paint, expensive paint would be like using a Ferrari to get groceries. I think I'm not, my painting isn't up to that level of paint. So no, I have not used that. That. Do it in the Chrome browser, thank you. I'm rebooting the camera with it now plugged in. So. Muted. Setting camera. I'm getting close to wrapping up anyway, so I don't know why I'm doing all this, but there we go. Enter studio. Add stage. Whoa. No. Rotate, you dummy. Okay. I gotta get this to yeah. And then rotate. Get here. That's all good. Now rotate. Oh, for crying out loud. There we are. Watch Ben-Hur again for the first time in many years. Bringing to mind, you ever work with Chariot minis? I have not. I've not worked with many minis at all, to tell you the truth. Okay, I'm gonna call him what I was working on when I noticed that had happened. But at any rate, I need to grab a little bit of that because I did. Where did I notice I'd touched up? I'd nicked him with black where it ought to be gray. Well, I just saw that. That's not what I saw the first time, but I saw that. No, I have not done chariots. I have not done chariots. Okay. Well, I know there's a black spot on there somewhere that I saw, but I don't know where it is now. White around the hoofs to break up a little. I may go back later and do a. I gotta look at pictures of horses, which I probably should have done beforehand. All right. This guy, I think I've got a nice. I'll go a little darker. Country maple for the mane on this one. That Canadian horse. It's got maple mane. There we are. Shoop, shoop, shoop. No, I did black with the. I already did this guy's mane. I did the black with the gray. Never mind. Never mind. Maybe we'll try maple for him. Maybe a maple mane will make the spots look right. No, it doesn't. Probably should be the same brown, shouldn't it? Yeah, I think I'm going to be going over this guy and getting rid of the brown spots. I'm sorry, folks, but I just don't have the. I don't have it in me. The same thing is like I'm not doing these, painting live streams that were sort of like instructional. Here's how to paint your minis, because I'm not the person to tell you that. I have no idea what I'm doing. But there is a certain amount of, hey, you know what? If you just slap some color on it and that's what you can do, that's fine. That much I would like to communicate, because I criticize my own painting. But there's two things. One, it's okay. It doesn't have to be great. It's for fun, The other thing is there are 3 critics who've never seen really great painters, other than maybe once in a while, and who think that my mini painting is brilliant. And I'll trust their opinion, because they're my primary audience for this stuff. And it's always a sort of embarrassment when they see it and they say, "Oh, you're so good at that." I'm like, wow, I'm so not. But you know what? The kids like it, and that is gratifying. That is gratifying. Yeah, he does not look good with the brown splotches. I'm sorry to tell you. And that's not the idea, that's the execution. I am just not a real. Yeah, that doesn't look right. Now I'm kind of regretting the main color as well. Regrets, I've had a few. Just tonight, as a matter of fact. Hooves be black on a horse of this color, or would they be a dark brown? Probably a dark brown, wouldn't they? Yeah, it is a good target audience. Only one that really ultimately, like, I like to be entertaining for folks. That's all fun and good, but my primary audience is my boys. That's fine. That's who I want to do this stuff for. So I really like the wow moment when you bring something to the table. It's a great moment. Because, they're like really having a good time with it. They're like, yeah, which is neat. That's why I started doing terrain. I mean, I never did terrain when I was coming up, and I was doing this, game as a teenager. We never had terrain. I had minis, but we, not only did I never paint them, I never even brought them to the table. I just had them on my dresser. They were just to look at, not to play with. but it does help immensely with focus with younger kids. It's got something to, and I will say it is a charming part of the game. Now that I am doing terrain and all that kind of stuff, I do enjoy it because it does make it well, for one thing, the hobby extends. Like, it's not just the game now. You can also, you've got other things. You paint minis and make terrain, and that's fun. It's fun to do. But all these hooves look awful. This poor horse. I have just destroyed this horse. This is the horse who gets picked on in the farmyard. Poor horse. I'm sorry, horse. I have butchered you. You are a noble steed, and I have just destroyed you. When I painted, look at it. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Matt. You think, oh, that's pretty darn good, and then you see someone else. The other thing, if I look at it, oh, looks good, and then I take a picture to post online, and look what I did last night, and it looks like the dog's breakfast. Like, I'll do I did these dwarves, and to look at them, that looks good. But in the picture, first of all, the camera forces contrast that you don't see. Your eyes have more subtlety, and so the picture, the camera has to pick pixels, and so the contrast sharpens, and so little spots pop out more, and you're, whoa, and somehow it just doesn't look right. It just doesn't look. It looks dreadful. You're like, what did I do? I wasted all that time. This looks like a mess. But then you look at it in person and it looks fine. I don't know. They say cameras don't lie, but I think they do. I don't know. Maybe the brown and white's okay. I don't know. Man, I got to look at a picture of a brown and white horse, and see what I did wrong. Just see what I did wrong. Well, thank you. I enjoyed doing that. These guys, and I was thinking, I did these very, very small things just as a demonstration, but you could do 6x6, 8x8, 12x12, whatever. The bigger it is, the less variable it gets, the more you have one static thing, but you could still turn them. Like, if you had four tiles that were a foot square, you'd have all sorts of combinations of ways to turn them and mix and match them around, right? That could make a little different scenes, different paths in the forest. But of course, if you go down to 6 inches, then you've got more opportunity because you got more tiles, you're switching, then there's more flex points. It's just about making sure that if you have a path running through it, the ones that have a path on it, the path is always at the same, like at the center of the tile, so that no matter which two you line up, the path will be contiguous. And I was thinking about later, we could do a river as well, going through it, and just build up a little bit on the, with the flocking or stuff, build it up a little bit and put a little river through, all sorts of stuff. But yeah. Okay, folks. I think I'm going to call that a night. No, I'm going to call this a night. I'm going to call it a night and hit the hay. I'll take the dog for his perambulation. Yeah. I'll see you all here another night. Probably still working on these guys. I will work on them between, because I do want to get them done sooner rather than later. I won't always be on a live stream to do them. But nice seeing you all. Thanks for stopping by. And I hope you have a very good rest of your week and a good weekend ahead. And should be a recap coming out Sunday. Patrons will see it Friday night or early Saturday. It'll be up Sunday afternoon or evening. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. See you on the other side.